All right, welcome everyone to our presentation. Today, the presentation is Developing Pre-Service Teachers' Knowledge of Community Cultural Wealth in Science, Mathematics, and Literacy Education during COVID-19. My name is Dr. Christina Restrepo Nazar, and I'm Assistant Professor of Science Education.
Hi, everybody. My name is Socorro Orozco, and I am a assistant professor of K-12 mathematics education at Cal State LA.
So today we begin by introducing the problem space for our work. We believe that COVID-19 has presented significant challenges with schooling, particularly the ways that methods students in methods courses have access to learn from and with youth in the community. And we also believe that this disparity in being able to observe and to see the practices in schooling has increased in some way, shape, or form educational debt by furthering the gaps of the ways in which we know how knowledge or see how knowledge is created in educational settings. For science and mathematics education in particular, literacy, we believe, is the ability to understand these scientific and mathematical concepts and processes, particularly in how decision making, participation in civic cultural affairs, and economic productivity exists. And so by having field opportunities in regular settings where we're not seeing COVID-19 happening, provide some experience with that, but now we see that that's not happening. And so that's why we're interested in this work. In this paper, we aim to present how pre-service teachers aim to use multimodality to learn about the cultural community wealth of students and their communities. So particularly for pre-service teachers to teach online with students this semester, we've implemented using an approach using Padlet as a technological tool to be able to see how pre-service teachers develop these understandings of community cultural wealth with students. The framework that we're using, CCW, YOSO in 2005, identified 6 components that are culturally validating strengths in ways that teachers can incorporate knowledge, skills, and values, identities, and epistemologies existent in the ways that youth communities interact and are supported in schools. These included aspirational capital, familial capital, social capital, linguistic capital, resistant capital, navigational capital. The important part of this work is that it builds on and critiques some of those original approaches of social capital and cultural capital, where we don't just see the culture of power being reproduced in ways that are sustained, but rather that we understand the ways in which students are challenging these oppositional behaviors through oppositional behaviors of non-inclusive environments and inequities in schools. The work is grounded in 25 method students working in the teacher education program doing field experiences in a Southern California State University. Through the work, we're using Padlet, which is an online tool that a lot of educational programs are using to support students to gather information, data, pinpoint locations, and be able to do discussion boards and postings as a way to incorporate ways that community knowledge can be a part of their teacher education development. So that's a tool that we use within the methods course. And we begin with these 25 mathematics method students because they're unpacking their own ways of how they bring their own work in themselves as students who are from the community to understand their mathematical practices.
So in this math class, or this math methods class, we began by interacting with each other on Padlet, this instructional tool that allows for posts to be made on one page like you're looking at right now. And we can share, we can create community by sharing our thoughts. And the way that they're sharing, that students are sharing their thoughts and experience was by starting by unpacking certain parts of our teacher identity, by talking about ourselves, who we are, like you can see on the left side of the screen. Students began by sharing a little bit of themselves by creating a acrostics poem with their first name. And we began to learn or create community by learning about one another in this manner, right? Sharing about things that we like, things that are part of our environment, things that we think about ourselves, right? Like, for example, somebody sharing Night Watch Nation is a show I was recently into, right? People sharing their interests, their hobbies. So we begin to unpack our identities. And then we focus more on developing our identities as learners of mathematics who are in the process of becoming teachers of mathematics. And we did that by looking at specific memories we have about learning about mathematics. People sharing experiences with their families, with their neighbors, with their teachers, and specific activity, cultural activity in which they engaged uh, that helped them learn something about mathematics. And that is one way to unpack or begin to unpack and reflect on our identities as learners of mathematics and teachers of mathematics. Next, pre-service teachers research something that can help children learn something about mathematics by finding either an image or a meme, or it could be a meme on the internet about something that teaches mathematics. They could also create their own image. So we can see here some images like using blocks to teach place value, using snap cubes, the way you see here to teach about addition and subtraction, right? And it creates this symbolic representation of a mathematical concept that we can recall by looking at the actual images, right? It will also be creating tutorial videos that will share a specific learning or learning of a concept like the ones you see here, some tutorial on comparing sizes, and it's a lesson, brief lesson that we can use with kindergartners. And so the aim is that students will create in their field experience product that could be shared within their community here in the classroom first, and then that it could easily be shared with other teachers by sharing the link. And teachers can go, or in-service teachers could go through these images and videos and reflections to inform their own practice. And so we believe definitely that our students, our pre-service students in methods courses especially, right, should unpack their own cultural experiences as a means to create or generate knowledge that is going to inform their practice. And we believe that this will increase their cultural wealth by centering their experiences and mirroring them in their classrooms, right? Rather than imposing instructional methods with whom students cannot relate or align, right? Either because it doesn't match their cultural values or they're antithetical to their cultural values. So here, just in furthering this research, we are hoping that we can find ways that pre-service teachers cultural wealth will interact with how we develop conceptions of their students, right? Or how they develop conceptions for their students, and how their sense making of their students' community cultural wealth can help them become more socially just teachers, especially in math and science education. Thank you so much to everyone for listening and watching our presentations, our presentation. Christina, do you have any final thoughts?
Thank you very much. We appreciate you listening to us. And if you have any questions, let us know.